Around 322 BCE, Magadha, India. Chandragupta Maurya was a young leader. He had made up his mind to overthrow the Nanda dynasty king. According to records, Chandragupta was an orphan. But he had a mentor, Chanakya. In tradition, he's depicted as a royal advisor, associated with a political treatise called the Arthashastra. However, the identity and historical circumstances remain debated. Chanakya said, "This kingdom is corrupt. A new order is needed." Chandragupta nodded. Inside his heart, ambition burned. What was he thinking in that moment? He probably wasn't just thinking about becoming king. A unified India. A mighty empire. That was his dream. Chanakya's strategy was bold. Collapse it from within the palace. He made contact with officials in the Nanda court. "Serve the new king. Your lives will be spared." Many officials complied. Few remained loyal to the corrupt dynasty. And then, through political upheaval, Chandragupta overthrew the Nanda dynasty. The specific details are disputed in historical sources, but the result was clear. On that day, the Maurya Empire was born, the first step toward the largest empire in Indian history. But Chandragupta's battles had only just begun. 305 BCE. The Indus River. Chandragupta faced a new enemy, Seleucus I, successor to Alexander the Great. Seleucus launched an invasion of India. But Chandragupta's army was strong, especially the war elephants. The battle elephants overwhelmed the Greek forces. Seleucus realized, there's nothing to gain by making this man an enemy. And so the two made peace. The terms of the treaty were clear. The Seleucus ceded vast western territories, including the Indus River Valley and what is now Afghanistan. In return, Chandragupta would provide 500 war elephants. Furthermore, the peace likely included a marriage alliance. The details and parties aren't certain in historical sources, but it was a political bond to guarantee peace between the two kingdoms. Chandragupta expanded his territory without fighting, a diplomatic victory, and the Mauryan Empire became an empire controlling all of northern India. 268 BCE. Pataliputra. Ashoka ascended to the throne, Chandragupta's grandson. But Ashoka's coronation was not peaceful. There was conflict over succession. According to Buddhist tradition, Ashoka killed them. All of them. There are traditions describing a brutal succession process, suggesting power struggles among brothers. The numbers and details lack solid evidence, but by the standards of the time, eliminating rivals was necessary to protect the empire. Ashoka consolidated his power, and then turned his eyes to the next target. Kalinga, an independent kingdom on India's eastern coast. Prosperous ports. A trade hub, but the only major power that refused to submit to the Mauryan Empire. Recent research suggests that Kalinga's control of maritime trade with Southeast Asia was also a major reason for the invasion. Ashoka made his decision: conquer Kalinga. The reason was clear: complete unification and control of the eastern trade routes. That would bring stability to the empire. 260 BCE. A massive Mauryan army marched on Kalinga. The Kalinga War. It was a massacre. The Mauryan military might was overwhelming. The Kalinga forces fought bravely, but they were vastly outnumbered. Ashoka's 13th Rock Edict records this war. 100,000 were killed, 150,000 deported or captured, and many more died. However, the interpretation of these numbers and terms remains debated among scholars. Rivers ran red with blood. Villages were burned. Victory. But the cost was staggering. After the battle, Ashoka visited the battlefield. What he saw there was hell. Corpses. Women wailing. Children who had lost their parents. According to records, Ashoka stood frozen on the spot. Speechless. Something inside him shattered. Is this victory? What was he thinking in that moment? Perhaps for the first time, he saw the true face of war. Not numbers, human suffering. That night, Ashoka couldn't sleep. He questioned himself. What have I done? According to records, 100,000 lives. Was this necessary for unification? Inside his mind, two voices battled. Voice A, you are the king. The empire's stability is paramount. Voice B, but can you justify this much suffering? Ashoka couldn't find an answer. And then, one day, he met a Buddhist monk. The monk said, "Violence only breeds more violence. True power lies in compassion." Ashoka was struck by these words. Until then, he had ruled through force. But he was beginning to question if that was right. According to records, Ashoka had been a lay Buddhist for more than 2.5 years before the Kalinga War. But after witnessing this carnage, his faith transformed. He made a decision. I will live as a true Buddhist. This wasn't merely a religious commitment. It was fundamentally changing his approach to governance. Ashoka proclaimed, "From now on, I will rule through Dhamma." What is Dhamma? Ashoka's Dhamma, as shown in his inscriptions, was less about imposing specific religious doctrine and more a universal ethical policy centered on non-violence and tolerance. Recent scholarship reevaluates Ashoka's Dhamma not as mere religion, but as universal political morality to unite diverse peoples. Non-violence, truth, compassion, tolerance. Ashoka spread these principles throughout the empire. By his order, stone pillars were erected across India. The pillars of Ashoka. The pillars bore inscriptions of Dhamma's teachings. Most were carved in Prakrit using Brahmi script, while Kharosthi script was used in the northwest. Furthermore, edicts in Greek and Aramaic have been confirmed in some regions. This was a proclamation. My empire will no longer expand through war. It will be governed by Dhamma. But Ashoka didn't stop at words. He showed it through action. Hospitals were built. Roads were improved. Wells were dug. This was for the people, especially for the poor. Furthermore, animal protection laws were enacted. The killing of certain animals was prohibited. This was revolutionary. At the time, animals were merely resources. But Ashoka said, all life deserves respect. His pacifism didn't mean disbanding the army. The death penalty was also maintained. He was a pragmatic ruler. But his ideals were steadily transforming the empire. Ashoka's reforms weren't limited to India. He decided to spread Buddhism to the world. His son Mahinda and daughter Sanghamitta. They were dispatched as missionaries. The destination, Sri Lanka. The king of Sri Lanka, Devanampiya Tissa. He heard Mahinda's teachings. According to records, the king was deeply moved. Then he converted to Buddhism. This was a historic moment. The first step of Buddhism spreading beyond India. Mahinda and Sanghamitta built Buddhist temples in Sri Lanka. They planted a sapling of the Bodhi tree. It was a descendant of the tree under which Buddha attained enlightenment. The Sri Mahabodhi in Anuradhapura, Sri Lanka, is traditionally said to be a branch from the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya and remains an object of worship today. It has survived for over 200 years. 232 BCE. Ashoka died at the age of 73. His reign lasted 36 years. For the first 8 years, he was a conqueror. For the remaining 28 years, he was a reformer. Which was the true Ashoka? Probably both. He was human. He made mistakes, learned in, and changed. But after Ashoka's death, the empire declined. His successors were not as powerful as he was. Regional governors declared independence. 185 BCE. The last Mauryan king, Brihadratha, was assassinated. The empire collapsed. Approximately 137 years. That was the lifespan of the Mauryan dynasty. But what the Mauryan Empire left behind did not disappear. At its height, the empire boasted vast territory, covering most of the Indian subcontinent. The population is estimated at tens of millions. While ancient population estimates are uncertain, this was the largest empire in Indian history. And the Buddhism that Ashoka spread. It traveled from Sri Lanka to Southeast Asia. Further, to China, Japan, and Korea. Current Buddhist population estimates vary by methodology, ranging into the hundreds of millions, approximately 500 million. The starting point was Ashoka's decision. The pillars of Ashoka still stand today. They have withstood wind and rain for over 200 years. And modern India. The national emblem is based on the lion capital of Ashoka at Sarnath. 4 lions, though in the design 1 lion on the back isn't visible, so typically 3 are seen from the front. This is no coincidence. India takes pride in Ashoka because he proved something. You can build an empire through violence, but you can strengthen an empire through compassion. History only speaks of results, but those living it don't know the outcome. Ashoka witnessed the horrors of war, and he changed. What if he had continued his conquests after the Kalinga War? What if he hadn't deepened his Buddhist faith and continued ruling by force? Would the Mauryan Empire have lasted longer? Or would it have collapsed even sooner? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm truly grateful you watched to the end today. Ashoka's story questions the essence of leadership: power and compassion, conquest and governance, ambition and conscience. This channel continues to portray such turning points in human history as human dramas. Let's explore together the wisdom we can learn from history and apply to our modern world. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Until next time.